I want to take a brief moment to thank everyone for being here with us today. We know you're especially busy during this time of year, so taking the time to be with us here, with us is sincerely appreciated. We just really want to thank you for that. Today's presentation is going to cover Marvin polygons and how to clearly communicate the necessary information between architects, builders, and the dealer salespeople when ordering these polygons. My name is Randy McMurray. I am the Territory Manager down in San Diego, California. My partner in crime today is Alex Tran. I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourself, Alex.
Good morning, everyone. So like Randy said, my name is Alex Tran. I'm the Northern California Architectural Consultant. My job primarily is to assist architects and designers in specifications, samples, product knowledge, presentations, AAA, anything they need regarding fenestration and Marvin. I'm part of the business development team. So I'm in Northern California. I have a counterpart, Mitra, in Southern California, and we also have dedicated commercial sales managers, Samuel Robertson and Richard De La Hoya. So we are here to assist you, as well as we have a new sister company called Precision Building Solutions in both installation and engineering. And the reason I'm bringing this up today is our conversation is on polygons. So while I'm working with architects with polygons, I'm always sharing details, and I'm always relaying the information regarding installation and any engineering support. So if you have any questions regarding that, please feel free to stay after today's presentation. We can help answer any questions you have. If you have any projects that you would like us to get estimates or quotes on, I can definitely guide you in the right direction. You can always contact your local territory manager as well. So again, thank you for joining us today. We have a nice, sweet, and short presentation, but I think it's very, very important, especially since once I made a mistake in polygons, I try to never make it again. So hopefully you can learn. I'm sorry, what?
I said, I think we all have.
Yeah. So hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and a few of the things I've learned. So with that, I'll let Randy jump right in.
Perfect. Well, polygons are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8-sided windows. We typically sell 3 or 4-sided polygons windows here in California, but that doesn't mean that these 5, 6, 7, and 8-sided polygons never come up. I do see them ordered on a regular basis as well. So don't be scared when you see these types of windows. We can definitely help you out with that.
Yeah, and I'm a runner, so I like to run, and we just moved to a new neighborhood. And as I was running around, I was surprised. I saw a lot of these 5-sided, and I keep calling it home plate. I know it's not, it's a P5-1, but I've seen a lot of those, a lot more than usual. So
yeah, there's a ton of them out there right now. Polygons are critical to architectural themes and drive spaces with natural light. They fit many different genres and styles, from traditional to modern and contemporary. But one thing you need to make sure of is drawings should be an SOP, a standard operating procedure for any polygon that you're ordering. Make sure you're getting drawings, especially for you dealers out there. Drawings will show alignment and getting pitch correct. It's only half the equation. So Alex is really going to kind of drive this home here in a few minutes.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of times when I'm seeing the polygons in the design phase, so the information I get is different from the information Randy gets, where he's getting a request from a dealer for a quote. So there are many different ways that we can solve the equation.
Right. And that's also, we're going to talk about this in a minute, but the stage in the building process that you're in is going to determine what type of sizing or entry combination you're going to be utilizing, but we'll talk about that in a moment. This next slide here, this is known as the Marvin Polygon Shapes Table. Some dealers call these trapezoids or rake windows, but polygon is a more encompassing definition. Let's go ahead and define P4-1. So P is for polygon, 4 represents a 4-sided polygon. You do have these others like a P3, P5, what have you. And 1 is the orientation from an exterior view. So just here in the P4, the 4-sided, we have 17 different options for you to choose from. So it's an enormous amount of opportunity for you to help out your customers. Most of the time, polygon windows will follow a roof line and a vaulted ceiling. but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to have a certain shape right in the middle of a wall somewhere. I've seen some crazy stuff out there. Go ahead, next. By far and away, P4-5 and P4-6 are the most specified and sold polygons, but these 5 other shapes also come to play pretty often as well. So kind of commit these to memory if you like. There are several entry combinations depending on the information provided, like we were just saying. So, let's go ahead and define you have your width here, you have your height, H, your short leg is your S1, and your pitch is P1. All right. And you will need to receive at least 3 out of 4 dimensions here in order to correctly build the polygon you're wanting. There's several inputs in determining sizing for polygons. So width, height, short leg is most common, but if an architect or builder gives us a pitch, then we can use that in lieu of the short leg dimension. So let me diverse here quickly. The image picker in OMS is your friend. This little camera thingamajig here has helped me countless times and saved me countless times. So whenever you see that camera in OMS, get into the habit of clicking on that. Marvin, sometimes calls things that you may know it as something else. So definitely, every time you see that image picker, please click on it. It will save you. I promise it will save you headaches down the road for sure. Input choices. So in OMS, when building the polygon, use one of 4 combinations for sizing. So these combinations are utilized when building ultimate, elevate, or essential polygons. All right.
So if you, for example, I've noticed on a lot of the plans in the design phase, sometimes they only have 2 pieces of information. So I have to reach out to ask, like, do you have the pitch of the roof? Do you have the measurement of the short leg? And a lot of times in the design phase, they don't have that, but they will have the pitch of the roof without having the short leg. So if we select this here, then the option for pitch will show up, and then you can enter your pitch, which Randy will talk about here.
Exactly. Yeah. If you receive pitch as one of your dimensions, please don't get nervous. It's still fairly simple to enter. It's typically you're going to receive it. It's typically written as 5/12 or 4/12. And what that means is, in this example of 5 and 12, that's 5 inches of rise for every 12 inches of run, or 4 inches of rise for every 12 inches of run. So that's what they're meaning by that, and that's going to give you your angle there. Okay. You want to add anything to that, Alex?
No, I mean, they read it as 5 and 12, 4 and 12.
Right.
You can even do a custom pitch. I think if you scroll down, it'll allow you to put a custom pitch that's not supplied there, but nope, that's it.
Okay, cool. So what happens when you're trying to build a polygon in modern? So building modern polygons in OMS is a bit different. So can someone tell me what we're missing here?
Yeah, please feel free to use the chat box. We'll give you a couple minutes, stare at it. I can't see the chat box, Randy, so you'll have to monitor that. If you see something missing, feel free to type it in.
Well, I'll just kind of jump right in. So entry combinations. So there's no entry combinations here, and we're missing the pitch as an input option. So what this means is you're going to need to get the exact dimensions without utilizing pitch. So your width, your height, and your short leg. Okay.
And this will go right into our next point. But this, if you're working with modern polygons, you must use shop drawings, and you must get them signed off, because we need to be 100% exact on the dimensions.
And that's our next slide here. So this is an example of a true CAD drawing showing all the pertinent sizing and shape information you utilize. And be sure to include, it says right here on the slide, but be sure to include both frame size and rough opening in your drawings. OMS will now, once you put that information in, OMS will now give you your pitch based on the input at the sizing section there. And it's so vitally important to get these drawings. And then, our next slide here is just a mirror image of that slide. And it's easy to generate this image this polygon in OMS. And what you do is once you hit done, that you created it, just go over to more actions, scroll down to view CAD drawing, click that, and these images are going to pop up for you. Very simple. In order to get this mirror image, all you do is copy that line and you go from P4-5 to P4-6. Then hit done. Again, same process. Go to more actions, view CAD drawing. Okay, very important to do. And save. Yes.
And save. Please
save.
hit save.
Yeah. And this slide right here is something, that Alex threw together here literally in a matter of minutes. And this is a great way for you, the dealer salesperson, to save your backside down the road. Any kind of sizing issues, you're going to want this. You're going to want this sign-off sheet. So it's literally utilizing a blank Word doc and the snipping tool. Put this together, send it out, make sure you are getting these signed, having a paper trail like this, attach it to any quote or purchase order it can, exonerate you from any potential liability of sizing or shape errors on the Marvin Polygon.
All right, so let's take a moment. I'm going to steal this picture that was on one of Randy's slides before, and we're going to kind of play a hypothetical situation. So let's imagine architect Randy has reached out to us, and he has defined a group of polygons for us. We see here A1, A2, and A3. And Randy gives us additional information. He's telling me that in between A1 and A2, there's 18 inches, and then there's 8 inches between A2 and A3, all while having a 4 and 12 roof pitch. What can we do? We can use our trusty OMS. We can build these 3 units, right? We also labeled it to help identify where in the house it is. But what you're looking at here is essentially a textbook working drawing that's going to define exactly what the architect has requested and is ready to be ordered. Note that this assembly matrix is A1, A2, A3. We're going to take a deeper dive here just so we can see a closer look. Again, frame size, rough opening, and roof pitch. We're always going to show that very vital information. Again, here's A3, just so everyone can see it. Remember, architect Randy said, I have 3 windows and there's distance in between. So what can we do to bring more value and help the architect? Well, using OMS, you can create assistance requests. You kind of explain all the information that architect Randy has given us, and our inside sales team can create this drawing and get it back to us. So we're going to go ahead and take a deeper dive into it. And as you can see, the detail now supplies all the necessary information, as well as that 18 inches in between A1 and A2, and the 8 inches in between A2 and A3. Details, details, details. If you've worked with me in the past, or you worked with BMD or any of our territory managers, you'll know we love these details. So on the last page of the BMD drawing, we're going to show you the details of the rough opening and the frame size for full clarification on where the dimensions can be pulled from. This will show you the shim space between the rough opening and the frame size. So again, use these details. Now, this is where I myself need to slow down, because this is where I messed up. And I spent a lot of time rewording how I'm going to say this. But essentially, if you've worked with polygons in the past, most likely it's been squares or rectangles. And when working with rectangles and squares, the conversion is more simple, right? The rough opening and frame size is 1 inch in width, so 1/2 inch each side, and then 1/2 inch in height. That's pretty simple. But with triangles, they provide different challenges. So while still using that 1/2 inch, your 1/2 inch is going to come off of the frame size to the rough opening. So there's a 1/2 inch here. But what you'll notice is if you run that 1/2 inch and you stop, the opening is going to be too small. What we need to do is, so this hypotenuse line here, we have to run this line all the way until it hits this adjacent leg, and then all the way up until it hits this opposite leg. So if we only left a 1/2 inch, it's not going to be big enough. What we really needed was 1 5/8 inch on this side and 11/16 on its 11/16 inch on this side. So if you look at it, we're still meeting that 1/2 inch requirement here. But again, we have to run the hypotenuse from the adjacent line all the way to the opposite line. So again, I'm going to keep saying this, but this is a great opportunity to use your drawings, right? Print them out. So they'll look like this. Print these out, share them with your architect, share them with your builder, make sure everyone signs it and everyone has a copy of this. But again, we're showing frame size, rough opening, pitch. And again, here, that's not a 1/2 inch. That's 1 5/8. So I just wanted to slow down a little bit and explain to you the triangles. When working with P3 and we're looking at a P3-2 here, it's not just the 1/2 inch that's part of the equation. You must dive deeper. So if you know me, I'm a stickler for organization. I am an avid note taker. And something that's been really important to me was good file management. We work on so many projects a year. I can be working on a project in San Anselmo last week, and then this week I'll have 3 different projects in Santa Cruz. So if I don't have good file management, it's very easy that I get confused and mixed up. So how we can help with that is we actually have a notes and attachment section in OMS. I'm sure everyone here has used it, but I just wanted to touch on it. So just like the image picker, our camera friend, I try to make this muscle memory, a habit that if I have details or I have drawings, I'm loading them into the notes and attachments. So you click here, and then after that, it'll allow you to add the note and attachment. So after you name it, you choose the type of file. I always add a little bit of description, what I'm loading, a window schedule. I got it on this date. And then more importantly, if you, let's say, for example, you have 30 lines, but you only wanted the details I created for the Nook for A1, A2, A3, we can hand select the line items that you want this actual detail to be connected with. And that will help any information for our inside sales review for Marvin Factory. We're just trying to streamline the information. Now, again, especially for myself, I work in the design phase with architects. There are a lot of changes. So what I like to do is, even though I like to load all the information, I want to let inside sales, I want to let everyone on the team know what is an old detail or an old set of plans that is technically obsolete. And that's exactly what this button is here. So this drawing is no longer valid. We've changed the pitch, we've changed the height. So by clicking obsolete, it's going to remember that this is no longer an updated version of that drawing. Now, the trick here is when you go to submit your order, that obsolete file automatically gets selected. I don't know why, but I do know that we have to manually unselect any obsolete files. And this essentially just gets rid of any confusion that can happen when we're ordering the product. In review, know your shapes. Do your best to commit them to memory. Your P4-5, your P4-6 is primarily where you're going to be spending most of your time, but it's good to know the other options. And again, use that image picker. So be sure to use the correct input or entry combinations depending on what information you were supplied. So if you have the pitch, ensure that you're choosing the entry combination with the pitch. Always present your CAD drawings to your general contractor, installer, approving authority, architect. Use our drawings. It's a free service. Please utilize it. All of our drawings will supply the rough opening, the frame size, and the roof pitch. Store these drawings, or for example, that sign-off sheet that Randy was talking about. Once you get that signed off, store it in OMS to the exact line item that you created it for. Label your drawings are always going to help. So living room, nook, garage, whatever it is. And then finally, get sign-offs from the approving authority on your drawings. And again, load them into notes and attachments so that inside sales and everyone on the team has them. With that, we want to give you a little bit of your time back. Can we go through any questions we may have? If you have any questions regarding PBS or polygons, I'm happy to share my screen and we can go through a couple scenarios. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Randy, your territory manager, directly. We would be happy to help.